In the heart of bustling Lagos, Nigeria, where the bright sun beat down on crowded streets and the delicious smell of sizzling akara and boiling yam, mixed with diesel from Okada motorcycles and loud high-life music from small shops, a gentlewoman named Grace lived her quiet life. Grace had grown up far away in a peaceful village in Enugu state, surrounded by green hills, red earth roads, tall palm trees, and the constant sound of children playing her. Grandmother Mama Nika would sit every evening under the big mango tree with all the grandchildren around her and tell wonderful Nigerian folk tales in a soft, wise voice. She spoke of MBE, the clever tortoise who always used his smart brain to win against stronger animals like the elephant or the lion. She told stories of Mami Wada, the beautiful river goddess dressed in gold, who lived in deep waters and rewarded people with pure hearts by giving them treasures and good fortune. She shared tales of Anansi, the patient spider, who wove beautiful strong webs day after day, teaching that slow, steady work brings the best results. These old stories sank deep into Grace's soul. They taught her that real power does not shout or fight, but waits quietly with kindness and love. She grew up believing that true love was like the ancient Iroko tree, with roots so deep no storm could pull it down. Grace was 21 when she first met John at a big village festival. He came from the city wearing a clean white shirt and smiling, so wide it made her heart jump. He was tall, handsome, with kind eyes and a voice full of big dreams about success in Lagos. He talked to her under the shade of mango trees. They shared roasted sweet corn and laughed at small things. Grace felt something warm bloom inside her like flowers after rain. They fell deeply in love, writing letters to each other. When he went back to the city, promising to come for her soon, their courtship was sweet, full of walks by the river, holding hands, singing old love songs and dreaming of a future together. They married in a joyful ceremony, under those same mango trees, drums beating loud flutes, playing happy tunes, guests dancing in colorful Aso Iba clothes. Grace wore a special beaded coral necklace from her mother, symbolizing never-ending union. Everyone cheered and blessed them, saying, "May your love last like the river that never dries." The first years of marriage were beautiful. John began as a junior worker in a large oil company, coming home tired but happy. Grace worked as a primary school teacher in a busy Lagos classroom. She loved her pupils like her own, filling their days with lessons, numbers, stories, and the same folktales her grandmother told her. When John lost an important job contract and came home sad and quiet, Grace sold her favorite gold earrings and some wrappers to pay the rent. She cooked his favorite goosey soup with extra meat and bitter leaf, speaking soft words of hope drawn from the tortoise story. MBE never gave up. Even when everyone laughed at him, she said, "You will rise again, my love." When malaria fever attacked John, making him shake and sweat, Grace never left his side, brewing neem leaves and herbs from the market, staying awake through hot nights, telling healing stories of river spirits until color returned to his face. In those close moments, he would hold her hand tightly, call her my queen, my rock, my everything. Grace believed him completely, her heart full of trust. As success started coming for John, things slowly changed. Promotions brought more money, expensive suits, a new car, and friends from high places. He began to look at Grace differently. Her simple village accent embarrassed him. When colleagues visited, he laughed at her love for old folktales, calling them childish village talk in front of others. Grace felt sharp pain inside, like a knife twist, but she stayed silent, remembering the proverb, "The patient dog eats the fattest bone." She forgave him over and over, thinking true love would bring him back to the gentleman she married, like the maiden in the tale, who tamed a fierce beast with nothing but soft touch and kind words. Their 10th wedding anniversary approached. John announced a grand celebration at the famous Echo Hotel in Victoria Island. He invited bosses, politicians, family, and all his new rich friends, boasting how he climbed from nothing to everything. Grace felt excited. She spent weeks planning her outfit, sewing a stunning Ankara gown with hand-stitched Igbo patterns of flowers and birds. She imagined them renewing vows, dancing slowly to their favorite highlife song, perhaps surprising him with a special gift. But a quiet worry sat in her chest like a small cloud for days before the big night. A serious lawyer called from Abuja. "Your uncle Chief Okeke, the wealthy oil businessman who lived alone, has passed away. he left his entire fortune to you. Grace, because in his heart you reminded him of the humble girl in the folktale of the golden yam who received endless blessings for her goodness. Grace was shocked she barely remembered this uncle the family quarrel over land had cut ties long ago, yet now billions of naira waited for her oil blocks, luxury houses, bank accounts, and most importantly, large shares that gave control over decisions in the multinational oil company, where John worked proudly. The lawyer explained she could influence promotions, contracts, even remove people if needed. Grace decided to say nothing, yet she planned to reveal it gently at the anniversary, perhaps use the wealth to build a big school in her village, help poor children, or make John proud of her. The anniversary evening arrived. The hotel ballroom sparkled with golden lights, chandeliers hanging like stars. Waiters carried trays of champagne jollof, rice pepper soup, and cakes. Guests in elegant dresses and suits laughed and chatted. Grace entered, her gown flowing beautifully. Heads turned. People whispered how lovely she looked. John greeted her quickly, his eyes already on more important guests. As the night went on, he stood for the toast, taking the microphone with a confident smile. Dear friends, family, colleagues. He began, his voice smooth but suddenly sharp. Today marks 10 wonderful years or so, I thought, with Grace, but honesty is best. She has held me back with her village habits, her endless old stories, her lack of modern ambition. I deserve a partner who matches my level, so tonight I announce our divorce. I have found true happiness with Mary here. Mary stepped forward in glittering red, smiling proudly. John pulled out thick divorce papers, signed and ready. He threw them toward Grace, laughing loudly. Happy anniversary, darling. This is your real gift. The room went dead silent, then exploded in gasps, whispers, some shocked laughs. Phones came out recording everything. Grace stood frozen, tears filling her eyes, burning hot. The humiliation hit like thunder. Everyone she knew saw it. Her husband, the man she loved more than life, publicly threw her away like worthless cloth. She remembered the folk tale of the faithful wife betrayed and banished to the forest, who later returned powerful with ancestors' help. Her heart shattered into sharp pieces, not just from the crowd's eyes, but from the death of the beautiful love she had protected for 10 years. The man who once kissed her tears away now caused them. The one who promised forever now ended it in front of strangers. Grace walked out slowly, head high, though legs trembled. The cool Lagos night air touched her wet face like a sad comfort. In her small apartment she collapsed, crying until dawn. Memories flooded there first. Rainy kiss, his strong arms during thunderstorms. Love notes hidden in her bag saying, "You are my forever world." How could the same man do this? She visited her grandmother's grave at first light, knelt on cool earth, whispered folk tales, asking for guidance. "MBE, teach me your clever patience, mommy. Wada wash away this deep pain, give me strength." The hurt slowly turned to iron. Inside the fortune was not only money, it was real power over John's proud world. She still loved him achingly, but love without respect was poison, like the woman in the tale who cared for a snake only to be struck. She would no longer accept, lest the revenge would unfold slowly. Justly, beautifully guided by the same spirits in the stories. As segment 1 draws to a close, Grace stands, changed tears dried into quiet fire, her inheritance. A hidden sword, Nigerian ancestors whispering the path ahead, full of emotion, beauty, and coming justice. Grace woke each morning in her simple new apartment, windows open to the noisy symphony of Lagos hawkers calling, morning bread sellers ringing bells, children laughing on their way to school, the azan from nearby mosques blending with radio high life. Her heart still carried heavy stones from the anniversary night. John's cruel words, Mary's proud smile, the laughter, the flashing phones, the divorce papers landing at her feet like stones. But with every sunrise, a small light grew inside her. She heard her grandmother's voice again, in memory, the patient one always wins in the end. She began meeting the lawyers quietly, learning every detail of her uncle's vast empire. Oil fields in the Delta, luxury apartments, and Lekki investment stocks, and crucially the controlling shares in John's company that allowed her to shape futures without ever showing her face. She chose careful steps like Unansi, the spider spinning a web so fine no one notices until it's too late. Months rolled by. John lived loudly parading Mary at fancy restaurants, beach parties, buying her Gucci bags, trips to Dubai, posting photos on Instagram, smiling wide, talking about his coming CEO promotion. He spoke of Grace with pity, the poor village woman who couldn't keep up social media. Friends liked and commented. Never knowing the truth, Grace changed slowly but surely. She enrolled in evening classes at a good business school, studying finance, strategy, leadership, her mind sharp like never before. She traded simple wrappers for elegant tailored outfits, blending modern style with African prints. Gold earrings, simple but regal, her hair always neat, her walk confident. Friends noticed. "Grace, you look different, stronger, brighter," she answered softly with a smile. "The ancestors are working in ways we cannot see." She poured part of the fortune into the Grace Foundation, building modern schools in rural villages, hiring teachers who mixed math, science, English with folk tales, so children learned pride in their roots, never feeling small. She visited the sites, watched little faces light up as they heard MBE stories and felt seen. Her heart warmed, giving love freely, the way she once gave everything to John, but memories still ambushed her sudden. Unexpected, the way John used to hum off-key while stirring stew, the weekend escape to Obadu Ranch, holding hands under stars, the gentle forehead kisses after her long teaching days. Tears came in private moments. She still loved him, the stubborn, beautiful love that clings even when hurt. One rainy night, her phone rang. John, drunk voice, thick: "Grace, I miss you. Your calm, your realness. Mary is all show, no soul. I ruined everything, please." Ada listened, heart-twisting tears silent down her cheeks. She forgave him deep inside, like ocean, the sweet-water goddess who cleanses pain with honey, but she knew balance required justice, the revenge. Built quietly, she instructed trusted board proxies to question John's expensive, risky projects quietly. Cut funding partners withdrew, deals collapsed. John raged, blaming economy bad advisors, never suspecting his discarded wife directed every thread his temper flared fights with. Mary grew. She complained about stress, money problems, eventually left him when shine faded. One afternoon, Grace sat in a quiet cafe near work, overheard John bragging to old friends. "I dodged a big mistake with that village girl. She's nothing now." Grace rose, heart pounding, walked past without a word. The mistake he name was now fully in her hands. The company annual gala arrived, grandest event of the year at Echo Hotel. John strutted in tuxedo. Mary replaced by a new girlfriend. Expecting his CEO announcement, Grace prepared long, a breathtaking gown of gold, silk embroidered with ancient Benin patterns. She entered the hall like royalty. Heads turned, whispers spread. John saw her, froze, face pale, as if meeting a ghost from House of Nighttale's speeches. Began chairman, stood important news, major shareholder. "Change restructuring ahead, John Okoro. Your recent decisions show serious errors. You are removed from leadership, demoted to basic advisory." The hall buzzed shock. John swayed. Grace stepped forward, microphone gentle but firm. "Good evening, all. I am Grace, the new controlling owner. This inheritance from my uncle arrived as a gift. I use it today for truth. John, months ago at our anniversary, you humiliated me, called me worthless village burden in front of family, friends, strangers. You threw divorce papers like garbage, but like MBE. I waited, silent, patient. Now witness the turn. Your career status, everything you built rests on my foundation. You begged, please. Grace, I was blind, wrong." Mary slipped out. Guests filmed John on knees, tears streaming. Grace felt powerful joy mixed with sorrow, revenge sweet yet heavy. Her old love flickered faintly like dying coal in wind. She spared, total ruin offered him a modest role. Learn true humility, John, as I did. Perhaps someday you will value what you lost. The night ended, John's shattered reputation gone. Grace departed, head high. Later, she sent anonymous food money, rent, help, remembering the husband he once was. Her heart ached beautifully in quiet pain as segment fades. Grace continues forward, resilient, full of inner light, old folktales alive, guiding her healing path. Years flowed gently and steadily, like the great wide Niger River, that carves new paths through soft earth over time, reshaping everything in its calm, powerful way, without hurry or noise. Grace's life, after the careful, measured revenge, became something truly beautiful, a blooming garden filled with fresh light, soft colors, gentle growth, and deep quiet. Joy, where once only shadows of pain, betrayal, and broken promises had lingered, she discovered love once more with David, a kind, steady, reliable man who worked as an engineer building bridges and roads across Nigeria. He came from a warm Tiv family, where evenings brought stories of harmony and patience, his tales of the moon goddess calming wars, or the farmer. Trusting rain blended perfectly, with Grace's Igbo and Yoruba folktales creating a rich shared wisdom. Their love felt safe, peaceful, like a calm lagoon after storm. No drama. Just daily joy, holding hands during evening walks, laughing over pounded yam and jollof, rice sharing dreams. Under starry skies, they married simply under the same. Mango trees from her first wedding village, elders drummed blessings, children scattered. Hibiscus petals, old women sang high life songs, wishing long life and unbreakable bond. David held her hand. During vows, his eyes full of genuine love, Grace felt warm peace, like sunlight after rain, she whispered. This time love will stay rooted, she remembered. The proverb, the river that forgets its source will dry up. She vowed to honor her roots, her strength. They welcomed a daughter, Little Hope named for New Light Hope, grew surrounded by love and stories Grace read of MBE, the tortoise outwitting pride. Anansi, the spider building with patience, Mami Wata, rewarding kindness, ocean healing hearts with. Honey and Dance Hope's eyes widened, learning patience triumphs. Pride spider webs, catch what lions Miss River Goddess sees. Pure hearts little, Hope walked, clutching David's finger, giggling her first words, Mama Papa, mixed with MBE, Anansi making. Family laugh. Grace watched her grow heart, healing with every smile, hug story the Grace. Foundation grew from small dream to powerful force. Modern schools and forgotten villages replaced leaking roofs with fans' books. Computers teachers wove folktales. Into lessons building Pride community health centers offered free care to mothers, orphans, widows. Stories of healing spirits eased fear. Therapy rooms helped broken people share pain here. Tales of redemption. Thousands touched letters came women. Gained courage to leave bad marriages. Men admitted pride. Blinded them, elders said ancestors. Teach balance through trials. Grace read each letter. Tears flowing, her pain became purpose. John lived quietly in Lagos, low-level clerk in her company paths. Crossed, he kept eyes down, voice humble. Grace felt no anger, only soft sadness for lost love she arranged. Anonymous therapy books on growth, hoping he rebuild one sunny afternoon in garden. John approached, face-lined regret. Grace, I understand now. I never deserved you. I was arrogant, blind, chasing shadows. Thank you for mercy. Grace met eyes softly, memories flickered. I loved you deeply, like faithful wife in eternal lover's tale. Love needs respect. You taught me worth through pain. I forgive. You go, he'll find light. John wept, bowed, walked away, humbled. Grace felt last chain fall, heart free. Soaring like bird, escaping net, she traveled with David. Hope to villages, breathing childhood air, tasting palm wine, roasted plantain, dancing at moon. Festivals under stars, beauty in small moments, Hope's steps giggled, David's hand, sunsets. Lagos lights twinkling like diamonds, foundation expanded centers, libraries, workshops, hospitals, folktales. Healed children, widows, men reflected, changed elders. Retold story as legend when silver touched hair. Grace reflected full circle joy, love, betrayal, revenge, redemption like myths testing mortals. Forging strength one serene evening, she stood alone on the wide balcony of their home high above the bustling city. The vast Lagos skyline twinkled with a million lights far below her garden. Bloomed lushly with hibiscus roses, lilies transplanted from village soil, their sweet scent drifting on cool breeze. She closed her eyes, whispered heartfelt gratitude to Mami Wata for seeing her pure heart in darkness, to Ocean for healing wounds with sweet waters, to wise MBE for teaching patience victory to patient. Anansi for showing small actions build empires, to ancestors who guided every step through pain. To this profound peace, her true story spread far beyond Lagos, around village fires, city rooms, WhatsApp groups. Women found strength, men learned humility. Children needed heroes, her name whispered as example, rising with grace after fall, real lasting. Beauty not in billions or power, but in transformation, from humiliated broken wife to loving devoted mother, wise compassionate leader. Heart forever touched by deepest emotions, yet shining brilliantly with forgiveness, unbreakable peace radiant. Strength like eternal sun rising golden after longest night, Grace smiled softly, warm tears of quiet, pure joy filling her eyes, knowing deeply she had loved fully, without reservation. Hurt deeply beyond measure, forgiven completely without bitterness. Triumphed beautifully, triumphantly, in vast, rich, endless, timeless weave of Nigerian life's human spirit, ancestral grace. Eternal hope, forever changed, forever healed, forever whole. This was her story. Her legacy, her beautiful concluding part, a testament to love's quiet endurance pains, harsh lessons, forgiveness, gentle power, and the unstoppable rise of a woman's spirit when guided by patience, wisdom, and the ancient truths of her people, the end of one chapter, the eternal beginning of many more, filled with light hope, unbreakable grace, and the promise that even from the deepest humiliation a heart can rise renewed, stronger, kinder, and eternally beautiful in the eyes of ancestors and the future generations who will carry her light forward.